And this, my friends, is where we have to be very, very honest with ourselves. There's a quote that says, the number one principle is you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. So remember that. You are the easiest person to trick. It's a lot easier for you to trick yourself into believing something than to trick other people into believing something. So what does that say basically? It says you probably have tricked yourself, and you should probably look at it, because you've probably tricked yourself in some way or another. It's okay, we all do it. It's the easiest person to trick. We're obviously going to trick ourselves. So look at the ways that you trick yourself. And this is not to judge yourself. This is not to place shame onto yourself. This is just to get into the experience of awareness. Understand who you are. Understand who you're showing up as. Because that's the only place that you can genuinely change from. We often use judgment in a way that protects our own personal beliefs. And we love our personal beliefs. So we protect them with our life, not knowing that we're actually harming others and harming ourselves, instead of understanding that we all have the right to believe. We all have the right to think what we think. It's the right of free thought. It's one of the most important things for a soul, for a human, is that right to free speech in our own head. So I'm not even telling you to not judge. I'm just trying to hopefully bring awareness. That's all you need. You don't need to not be judgmental. I'm judgmental sometimes. I'm still becoming more aware of different parts of my shadow and different parts of my ego that I wasn't aware of before. I think we're constantly learning and becoming aware of ourselves in new ways as we grow as a person. And I think if we're not, then that's usually a bad sign, right? If you haven't noticed yourself behaving in any negative way in the last couple months, you're probably the delusional one. Like, let's be honest. We all make mistakes. If you truly think you've been showing up fully accepting and loving, and but all these problems showing up in my life, it's just everybody else, and I'm the one that's been doing it right. Probably not. Probably not. You're probably judgmental. You're probably projecting it onto people, creating resentment in them, creating smallness in who they are, and that makes them attack you. I do it. It's one of my worst bad habits, is that I think I'm doing something more right than others, and then I don't realize how much it negatively affects people's growth for me to just think they're wrong, and for me to, especially if I project it onto them. And that's how we protect, because we don't want to feel like we're the one doing something wrong, because then we feel ashamed, and it's a constant loop. But it's okay. You don't need to be ashamed of yourself. We're all little rascals somewhere deep down. We all act in that way sometimes. We all have our own path. We all have different things that work for us, different tools that work for us. And we can learn from other people and find new tools. But there's not really like a right tool set for everybody. And everyone needs to use this tool set. That's the same mindset that got us into this mess. The same exact mindset of just judging people and thinking you're the right way. It's just pride. It's pride. Let's call it what it is. It's pride. And when you notice that it's pride, things get a little better, because you can go, wow, I am judgmental sometimes, but I still love myself. I'm angry sometimes and I lash out, and I still love myself. We all do it. We can't pretend like we don't have an ego. People that pretend that they don't have an ego are the ones that have the biggest egos, because you got to just be aware that you're kind of a little rascal, and you're also amazing. You're a great person, and you're also a bad person. There's no such thing as bad people and good people. There are people that are aware of how bad they were, are, and can be, so they're able to actually observe that and make better decisions. And then there's people that think they're not bad and unconsciously just hurt people pretty much constantly, because they're not willing to look at the fact that they're doing anything wrong. we're all doing some stuff wrong. We're all harming in some way. You know, killing that mosquito is some level of harm. Doesn't mean you shouldn't, and it doesn't mean you should feel ashamed of yourself or not be able to bathe in the love of the divine just because you killed a mosquito. But that mosquito had a family, right? That mosquito had a fam. He's not coming home. There's some mosquito wife cooking dinner, waiting for him to come home, and he didn't make it because you killed him.